Right now we're talking to Peter Greenberg, CBS News travel editor. Good to see you.
And likewise, sir.
Good to see you. So let's talk about travel, because a couple of questions that come up, especially this time of the year when you're talking about travel. People want to save money. They don't want to spend a lot of money. They don't want to overspend. Is it true that there's a best day to actually book travel?
Well, there used to be a best day. It was midnight on Tuesday, because that's when all the fares that weren't bought come flooding back into the computer systems of the airline. That's changed now. The best day to book travel is after about 6 o'clock at night on Sundays, because that's when all the business travel has been already booked, and then they see how many seats they haven't sold, and things come back in.
All right. So when you are traveling, how about flexible days? They say be flexible when you travel, even though you have to book some people have to book their vacation time well in advance.
Well, you know, people have been already trained to book round-trip tickets, not necessarily the best way to go. Because if you book a round-trip ticket and all of a sudden you have to change the flight on the way back, they reprice the flights, you have to pay more. Bottom line, I buy 2 one-way tickets. That way you're protected on the first one, and you're protected on the second one if you have to change it. That way you get a refund or actually a credit.
How about hotels versus guest houses versus Airbnb? Is there a true savings there?
It's not about a savings. It's about experience. Because the problem with Airbnb these days is it sounds like a great idea, and in many cases it is, but you gotta be aware of the fine print. It's the cleaning fee. And they don't disclose the cleaning fee. That could be as much as $300. There goes your savings. So you have to negotiate that all up front, and then make sure that wherever you're booking the Airbnb, it's really close to mass transportation. Otherwise, you're gonna be paying a lot of money in Ubers.
What about negotiating hotel rates? Is that a thing? I've never heard of this. I just started reading online and they say, oh yeah, you can negotiate hotel rates. Is this a thing?
Oh, absolutely. Everything's negotiable.
Oh, really?
Everything. The biggest mistake people make is they book everything online. Then you can't negotiate anything. Use the internet to research that here's a new concept for 2025. Pick up the phone.
No.
Yes.
A telephone?
Talk to a human being. What a concept. And guess what? You call the hotel. You don't ask to speak to reservations. They'll just bounce you right back to an 800 number. You don't ask to speak to the front desk. You ask to speak to the MOD, the manager on duty. Now you're having a conversation with somebody who can actually give you a yes. And next thing you know, you get the questions answered. It's not just about getting a good room rate. It's about what kind of bed am I getting? Am I over the ballroom so at 2 o'clock in the morning I'm going to be hearing all the broken wine glasses? No. All the things you can ask to that person, and you've developed a relationship and you get a good deal.
Now, you mentioned transportation just a short time ago. Public transportation, you should be near public transportation when you're traveling, so you can either get on public transportation or you can walk around so you can save money there?
You want options. You want options. And the thing is, there's so many good cities that have great transportation that people don't even realize. There are other cities that are just terrible. But you'll know right away. You'll know right away because when you go to make that reservation on that phone call you're going to have, not the internet, you're going to say, how close is the nearest subway? How close is the nearest bus station? Can I walk it? Because when you throw in weather, now you got another problem. So you always have to ask those questions.
What about finding free activities? How do you do that?
Oh, you want to find free activities? You don't ask the concierge. You don't ask the front desk. You ask the maids and the bellmen. You know why? Because they live in those communities. They're going to tell you everything's free.
Wow.
Nobody ever talks to them. They know everything.
So just ask the question right there when you see them.
Where do you go? Don't just say, what about free activity? Where do you like to go? What do you like to do? Next thing
where do you like to eat?
Right, and they say, hey, don't turn left, turn right. This guy's great, and that's what you order. I mean, they are a font of information. People just never ask them.
Right, okay, all right. What about using your travel rewards, like credit cards and things like that?
You and I can spend the next 3 hours talking about that. The rewards programs have gotten to the point of diminishing returns.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know how many unredeemed miles there are out now, right now that you've earned, that I've earned, that everybody out there has earned, that they can't redeem? Take a wild guess.
3 million.
No.
Too high?
No, you're no longer going to the Showcase Showdown. It's over. No, it's 37 trillion. Wow. That's how many miles have been earned, because we're all addicted to the mileage programs. We want to get miles for everything short of breathing, right? But the airlines make it more and more difficult to redeem them to the point where they're useless. They're Venezuelan currency. So the point is, if you have miles and you're watching me right now, don't hoard them. They're not bank accounts. They accrue no interest. Find a place you've never wanted to go, not one you've always wanted to go, and redeem the miles. Otherwise, they're going to get devalued by the day.
What about travel insurance? Good idea or bad idea? I tend to not go with travel insurance because I'm cheap. So it's probably not a good idea.
Well, it's not about how much it costs, it's about how much it's worth.
Okay.
So the thing is this, if you're buying a $59 Southwest ticket, don't get the insurance. You have a $5,000 cruise, get the insurance. You're buying a ticket to a location that may have a weather problem, buy the insurance. But remember, if you're going to buy the insurance for that, you have to buy the insurance before the storm is named.
Right.
You can't buy fire insurance once the second floor catches fire.
Right.
So just get the insurance at that time. But most importantly, do not buy the insurance online, because you have no idea what you're covered for and no idea what you're not covered for. So opt out of that. Because if you go online and make a reservation now, you can't finish the transaction unless you opt in or opt out of the insurance.
So don't
trap you. Opt out, and then just call a travel agent or a travel advisor. They can sell you the insurance, but most importantly, they can walk you through the hieroglyphics of the policy language so you know what you're covered for and you know what you're not.
That sounds excellent. I never knew that.
And you're still cheap.
And I'm still cheap. I'm still not going to buy it. Oh, if you're driving versus flying. If you're on a road trip, say I'm going to drive to Toronto this summer and I want to save on my trip. I want to save on gas. I want to save on food. What should I do?
Are you renting a car?
I haven't decided yet. Should I rent a car? Should I drive my hoopty?
Well, it depends on where you're going, how far you're going. But if you're renting a car, the insurance kicks in again. Here's the thing. Every rental car company wants to sell you insurance, right? But wait a minute. If you already own a car, your insurance covers you for a rental car.
So don't get that.
So don't double dip, but make sure you read your policy so you know that you're not extra spending.
What about going to a foreign country where you have to do money and currency? How should you work that out?
Never exchange currency here. You'll never get a good rate of exchange, and it's terrible. What you need to do is check your own ATM card. Check your debit card with your bank. They may have an opportunity for you. A lot of companies do this where they rebate any kind of ATM fees you pay overseas, or they make it free anyway, right? And then you're only changing the money that you need for the time that you need it. Otherwise, you get beaten up by the exchange rate again.
Wow. Okay.
So don't change money here. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Plus, U.S. dollars are very strong most places in the world. You know what I do? You're going to laugh.
Okay.
I go to the bank. You have to call ahead to see if they've got it.
Okay.
And I buy $200 in $2 bills.
Okay.
Still legal tender.
Okay.
Right? I tip with those. You know why?
Why?
Everybody remembers you.
That's a good point. How'd you learn all this stuff?
I've been doing it since I'm 17. I learned it by making mistakes.
Really?
Right? That's how you learn. Yeah, because once you make the mistake, okay, how do I fix that? Never doing that again.
Okay. Do you know anything about the whole, we just did a story recently about Wi-Fi in the airport, being safe and secure when it comes to Wi-Fi in the airport?
Wi-Fi at airports is not a great idea, only because it can be easily compromised. However, if I'm going to do Wi-Fi to do, just my emails and check that, fine. I'm not doing any financial transactions on airport Wi-Fi because somebody can be phishing and get all my information.
Right. So, Peter, you're here in town for a special event, the travel show.
Right, the Travel and Adventure Show at the
Yes.
Washington Convention Center. I'll be speaking there tomorrow and Sunday. And please come out and see me. I'm happy to answer all the questions, even from cheapskates like you.
People that don't spend money, don't spend money. Anything else we need to know when it comes to summer travel or travel in general to save us some money? Anything at all?
Yes, and this is something, beware of the law of consequences. Because of the Trump administration's policy on immigration and deportation, and even the idea that they're floating out now that they want to ban the citizens of 43 separate countries from flying into the United States, what has that done? It's resulted in a huge drop-off of foreign travelers to the U.S. Foreign travel to the U.S. right now in the last 6 weeks has dropped 22%. From Canada, it's dropped 76%. What does that mean? If they're not coming here, there are a lot of empty seats going there. And airfares have now come down precipitously. Somebody had to go the other day from San Francisco to Cairo in Egypt. What do you think the airfare was? Coach.
$400.
You're pretty close, $437, but normally it'd be $1,200.
Right, okay.
So we found 30 different airfares now between Washington, D.C. and Europe for under $600 round trip. You can't get from Washington, D.C. to Arlington for $600 round trip. So this is an opportunity now.
Right, okay, all right. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I have to talk to you about some of your mistakes.
All right, I made a lot of them, a lot of mistakes. Again, tell me how did you get started in all this? Just some background on you.
Sure, I'm an investigative reporter. I worked for many, many years as a correspondent for Newsweek, and I was the guy with a suitcase in the trunk of my car. I was always flying to the scene of something first, and it dawned on me very early in my career that nobody was covering travel or transportation as news. It's the largest industry in the world. So I immersed myself and learned. I got trained in the cockpits, I got trained in the cabins, I got trained on ships, so that I knew the questions I needed to ask so I could get the answers and then come back and share them with you. And I've been doing this now for almost 40 years.
Wow, okay, all right. Thank you very much. I feel smarter just by being here near you. I'm not going to spend.
You want to touch me?
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Boom, there you go. There you go. I feel rich. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.